You borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most explosive celebrity outbursts that go way out of hand in a relatively short time.
Yeah, one of the things you said was about owning Malibu.
Yeah, oh yeah. Right.
Number 10. Roseanne Barr. It wasn't Roseanne Barr's first time down controversy lane, but this time things took a sharp and dramatic turn. Her eponymous sitcom had just made a triumphant return, premiering to impressive ratings.
Did you get the pain pills for my bad knee?
Wouldn't be the Candyman without the sunshine, babe.
But Barr's own hands put her in trouble on May 29, 2018, when she sent out a tweet about a former White House advisor that was widely viewed as racist. The very same day, despite the strong ratings, Roseanne was cancelled by ABC and wiped off the network's website.
Within hours, ABC pulled the plug on the show, saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, and we've decided to cancel her show.
Barr's response was chaotic. She was first defensive, then took a Twitter hiatus. When she returned, she explained that she wasn't racist. Instead, the sedative Ambien had caused her to tweet. The drug makers, however, quickly shut down that excuse.
While all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of any Sanofi medication.
Number 9. Kanye West. Kanye West has never been one to bite his tongue, even though sometimes we wish he would. But if you're upset about an awards category, the last person to bring that up with is the winner, especially when they're in the middle of accepting said award.
Yo, Taylor.
If only someone had told that to West on the 2009 VMAs. As Taylor Swift accepted the Best Female Video Award, West stormed on stage, grabbed the mic from her, and boldly declared that Beyoncé deserved it instead.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Not only was this embarrassing for both Swift and Beyoncé, it sent the live audience and viewers at home into an uproar. Even President Obama couldn't resist weighing in.
He's a jackass.
This was one opinion West definitely should have kept to himself.
Because I only wanted to help people, my entire life. I've only wanted to give and do something that I felt was right.
Number 8. Alec Baldwin. Many parents love giving their kids adorable animal-inspired nicknames. Think monkey, bunny, and the likes. But back in 2007, when Alec Baldwin called his daughter a pig, it wasn't exactly a term of endearment.
And there are limitations on what you can say and what you should say under these circumstances.
At the time, the actor was locked in a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Kim Basinger, over their daughter, Island. After Island missed a scheduled phone call, Baldwin let loose on her in a voicemail, calling her a thoughtless little pig. Certainly not the pep talk you'd want to hear from a parent. The issue was, however, blown way out of proportion after TMZ leaked the audio, forcing Baldwin into an apology tour. But frankly, it wasn't we who were in the need of an apology.
After all the years of giving verbal abuse, it's finally time you receive some.
Number 7. Michael Richards. When you heckle a comedian during their set, be prepared for some fiery comebacks. But the audience members who interrupted Michael Richards' set at Hollywood's Laugh Factory on November 17, 2006, had no idea how low he was willing to go.
He entertained millions as the lovable buffoon Kramer on Seinfeld, but there was nothing lovable about him when he went off on a racist rant on stage at a comedy club in Los Angeles over the weekend.
In response to their heckling, Richards launched into an angry tirade that quickly veered down a racist path. Someone in the crowd filmed the chaos, and it was eventually leaked by none other than TMZ.
All right, you see? It shocks you. It shocks you.
In a matter of days, Richards went from the beloved Kramer on Seinfeld to a public pariah. As a result, his career took a nosedive and he vanished from the spotlight, retiring from stand-up for good.
You talk about a bad night.
Number 6. Will Smith. Audiences tuned into the 2022 Oscars expecting Hollywood glam, emotional acceptance speeches, and show-stopping performances. But what they got far surpassed that.
That was a nice one, okay.
While presenting the Best Documentary Feature Award, comedian Chris Rock made a joke at the expense of Jada Pinkett Smith. In an attempt to defend his wife's honor, Will Smith marched on stage and smacked Rock across the face. He then returned to his seat and yelled expletives at the comedian. You could hear a pin drop in the room.
Will shouting at the top of his lungs, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth."
About an hour later, Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor, checking off at least one of the night's expectations with a teary acceptance speech. Not even the best screenwriters in the room could have scripted a more dramatic turn of events.
That was a greatest night in the history of television.
Number 5. Shia LaBeouf. Keeping track of Shia LaBeouf's public meltdowns is practically impossible.
Turn now to that story breaking overnight on Shia LaBeouf taken out of a Broadway theater in handcuffs after an outburst.
It all started in 2013 when he was caught plagiarizing a comic book for his short film, HowardCantor.com.
The actor first said that he, quote, got lost in the creative process, and that was his reason for not crediting this author for inspiring his film.
His apology for this also seemed to have been plagiarized from another post. From there, things quickly went downhill. In February 2014, he appeared at the Berlin Film Festival wearing a paper bag with the words, "I am not famous anymore." Then, a few months later, he was arrested at a Broadway theater for disorderly conduct and harassment.
According to witnesses, LaBeouf disrupted a performance of the musical Cabaret by slapping audience members on the backside and yelling at cast members.
He'd go on to rack up more arrests for similar charges. After being sued by his ex-girlfriend singer FKA Twigs for sexual battery and assault, LaBeouf took a break from acting and pledged to seek treatment. Number 4. Paula Dean. In 2013, this celebrity Southern chef was sued by an employee for racial and sexual discrimination.
Her startling admissions came during a deposition in a lawsuit filed against her by a former employee.
The suit itself barely made headlines, but it was Paula Dean's own words during her deposition that ignited a media firestorm. Dean admitted to using racial slurs in the past, and once that confession went public, all hell broke loose.
Harassment. Now, according to the deposition, Dean was asked, "Have you ever used the N-word yourself?" To which she replies, "Yes, of course."
What followed was a string of teary apologies, each seemingly less sincere than the last. But that did little to help. Soon she was hemorrhaging business deals and saw her contract with the Food Network terminated. In a last-ditch effort to save her cooking empire, Dean went on the Today Show and delivered a bizarre apology that did little to win anyone over.
It's very distressing for me to go into my kitchens and I hear what these young people are calling each other.
Number 3. Mel Gibson. In the late 2000s, Mel Gibson seemed to vanish completely from Hollywood without much explanation. The answer lies in a messy police encounter from 2006.
The officer doesn't want to handcuff him, right? He says, "Look, you're over the limit. I don't want to handcuff you. Let's just keep this thing under control," right? And Gibson tries to run away from him.
Gibson was driving under the influence in Los Angeles when he was pulled over by a sheriff's deputy and arrested. When the officer didn't let him off the hook, Gibson unleashed an explosive tirade laced with anti-Semitic remarks.
And first, he doesn't start with anti-Semitic stuff right away. He starts with "I own Malibu."
TMZ quickly got its hand on the arrest report, and after the story hit mainstream media, Gibson realized he was in hot water. He put out 2 lukewarm apologies before granting Diane Sawyer a televised interview where he admitted his mistakes.
Are those anti-Semitic words?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds horrible. And I'm ashamed of that. That came out of my mouth. And I'm not that. That's not who I am, you know.
Yet many remained skeptical, and for good reason. Just a few years later, he was caught making hateful remarks.
I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like it. I don't want that woman. I don't want you.
Number 2. Britney Spears. By now, nearly everyone has seen those infamous pictures. An expressionless Britney Spears shaving her own head in a salon. Or the one where she attacks a paparazzo's car with an umbrella. These snapshots have become the enduring symbols of Spears' public meltdown in 2007.
Do you think the paparazzi being around affected her at all?
I don't really think, and I don't really believe, because
Thrust into stardom as a teenager, Spears buckled under the pressure of fame, and it all boiled over after her marriage fell apart and her beloved aunt passed away. The head shaving and umbrella incident occurred in early 2007, but the relentless media circus continued, and she eventually lost custody of her sons that October.
In an emergency session Friday, a family court judge suspended Spears' right to even see her children.
By the following year, things had gotten even worse, resulting in her father assuming control in a conservatorship that lasted until 2021.
The next several years promise to be very lucrative for the conservatorship estate. This conservatorship should be viewed more as a hybrid business model, which I think is probably the first time that's ever been said about a conservatorship.
And before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Charlie Sheen. If you're the highest paid actor on television, one would think you do whatever it takes to keep that job. Well, unless you're Charlie Sheen.
We're going to turn to the bitter tug-of-war between, yes, Charlie Sheen and Warner Brothers.
In 2011, Sheen launched a full-scale campaign where he publicly insulted Chuck Lorre, the creator of 2.5 Men, the very show that made him a star.
Why do I bother talking to you?
Beats the hell out of me.
Consequently, he was fired and replaced by Ashton Kutcher, but Sheen didn't take his dismissal lying down. Oh no. He doubled down with even more interviews, declaring himself a warlock with tiger blood and insisting that he was winning.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Winning what exactly? We're still not sure. By the time the dust had settled, 2.5 Men kept thriving, while Sheen moved on to a far less successful show.
I wish you and Jen the very best, and I hope that maybe even someday you and I could be friends. What do you say?
85% chance that'll never happen.
Did you think any of these celebrity meltdowns was justified? Let us know in the comments below.
You better not arrest me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.